Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Fox Reacts. Today we're continuing on with another kill count from Dead Meat, Tremors 2 Aftershock, released in 1996. So let's go on and hop on in and see just what we can see in the kill. Oh, and hold on, before we do anything, move myself down here. Okay, let's do this. Yes. 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies.
Glad to be back.
I'm Horatio Rodriguez Gavoyich, and today
that
we're
is
continuing
long-ass
our
name.
seismological study of the Tremors franchise with Tremors 2 Aftershocks, released direct-to-video in 1996. Tremors 2 is a very special movie for me because it's the one I used to watch and quote constantly with my brother Alex. Yep, he got the normal name. In some ways, I love it more than the original. It's a great example of how to do a sequel. The core concept stays the same, but there are interesting new twists that keep things fresh. Originally set to be a theatrical release filmed in Australia for $17 million in 1993, the project was almost canceled when Kevin Bacon and Reba McEntire turned it down due to scheduling conflicts. And also,
I'm not going to do Tremors 2. Tremors 1 was a bomb.
So without star power, it was deemed too expensive for a theatrical release and was moved to the home video division with a much lower $4 million budget. 1/3 of the original.
If we can't get a theater, we'll get DVD. But they did bring back at least one character that I know all of us will love.
Boy, did they stretch that sucker out. The original film's creators returned with their newly formed company, Stampede Entertainment. Nancy Roberts and Ron Underwood produced, while Brent Maddock and Steve Wilson wrote the script. And Steve took over directing duties since he directed Second Unit on Tremors 1.
It's a wrap.
The theatrical script was used, minus a few expensive scenes involving Bert in a full-size tank and everyone fighting the creatures with Civil War muskets. The only returning cast members were Fred Ward and Michael Gross. The new character of Grady is a reworking of Kevin Bacon's character from the original script, and the movie lets you know it.
Oh, actually, I'm not the original guy.
Despite its drastically lower budget and direct-to-video release, Tremors 2
now
holds its own against the original film. There's still tons of incredible practical effects by the returning Amalgamated Dynamics, a perfect balance of horror and comedy thanks to a tight script by Wilson and Maddock, and the trademark of any Tremors film, lands. Tremors 2 picks up years after the first film. Val and Earl had their brush with fame, but it didn't last. Val is married and living off-screen, while Earl makes ends meet by farming ostriches. He gets a second chance at fame and fortune when a Mexican oil tycoon hires him to go graboid hunting at a refinery in Mexico. He's teamed up with a taxi driver named Grady, a returning Atlanta Hawks fan.
I think he's offered like 2K per graboid kill something, or maybe it's 10K each kill. I don't know. Well, they probably say it.
Burt Gummer and another geologist love interest. Together they explode their way to fortune and glory. That is, until the worms begin to turn.
It's a whole new ball game. A whole new goddamn ball game.
Will Part 2's Aftershocks be as strong as the originals? Let's find out and get to the kills.
Alright.
The movie begins with another simple and shaky title card, followed by a very special credit you'll be seeing in every movie after this. We fade into the Petromaya oil field in Chiapas, Mexico,
is the main
which
character.
in reality is mostly jungle, but here it looks like Valencia, California, near Six Flags Magic Mountain. An oil worker, played by Thomas Rosales Jr., previously seen on the kill count as an El Scorpio gang member in Predator 2, and ignoring Peter Stormare in The Lost World, plays a game of Scooty Pipe, which is interrupted by an underground buoy. Graboid. The worker's only salvation lies at his sex van on the other side of this oil drum field. He Mario's his way across until the barrels start crashing behind him. He takes an oil spill, and faster than you can say Exxon Valdez, we have our first graboid. Returning mechanical effects creator Peter Chesney and production designer Ivo Cristante improved upon the sand-clogged hydraulics and buried puppeteers from the first film. This time, they built a raised platform and used pure manpower and counterweights to burst the 200-pound creature through the ground, allowing it to devour our oil worker without even chewing. Oh, graboid. That's how you get a tummy ache. We return to Perfection Valley, Nevada, and Earl Bassett, once again played by Fred Ward, only with longer hair, since that's the only way he'd agree to do this movie. Seriously. He's now an ostrich farmer, and not a good one. Aw, man, you dirtied up your shirt. Well, nothing a little jump cut can't fix. That's better. A taxi approaches all the way from Las Vegas. The passenger is senior...
According to another video I've actually seen of a different review of this exact movie, one reason why his ostrich business didn't take off too well is that he's got 2 male ostriches. So, yeah. If you think you're going to get an egg out of that, then you're crazy.
Ortega, a wealthy oil tycoon, and the driver is Grady Hoover, a dirt-poor hatted buffoon. He's played by Christopher Garten, who was once Sookie's fake fiance on True Blood. Ortega is played by Marcelo Tubert, previously seen in Leprechaun 3 as Gupta, who got a little love nibble from a little shit. No leprechauns here, but Kevin Bacon makes a quick cameo in an article from Madrid, Spain for some reason. Our non-union Mexican equivalent John Hammond explains there have been multiple deaths at his oil field due to certain underground animals. What are those things called again?
Graboids.
See, they're not tremors, Mom! Senior Ortega needs someone with expertise to take care of these creatures.
Just called them
Earl
Tremors.
was not interested, and apparently neither was Val.
Val married a good woman. Why would he want to die?
Yeah, that's reserved for his after-school Flatliners Club. Earl gets ready to cheer himself up with a little fridge sex, but Grady wants to convince him to take the job. He's a huge Tremors nerd, just like me, and he even geeks out over a Graboid arcade game. You will be mine
Quarter.
Yes,
Damn it!
You will be mine. Earl is resistant since he's come to accept the fact that he blew his one big chance, and his wall girlfriend agrees.
This October, 1974.
Yeah, she's there to remind me not to keep chasing after things I'm never gonna get.
Ooh, she's practical and practically naked.
Damn.
But hey, Earl is also hurting for money, and Grady tells him they're offering $50,000 per Graboid kill.
There
Maybe
it
this
is.
is your big second
50K a
chance.
Earl
kill.
finally agrees to let this movie's plot happen, and Grady insists on providing some impossible bacon.
You're gonna need a partner.
If only because Kevin was busy on the Apollo 13 mission. Earl and Grady head out as the fantastic score by Jay Ferguson transitions us from Nevada to Mexico.
Look at that. Just immediate. Oh, we're gonna add and we're back.
Known for composing a Nightmare on Elm Street 5 as well as the theme song for The Office. Head on over to the Dead Meat socials to see our Tremors Office mashup opening. You mostly won't regret it. Jay only wrote about 3 minutes of score for this movie, and you'll hear it used repeatedly, but it's so good, I don't think anybody cares. They arrive at the Petromaya field office, where they meet Pedro, the company's chief engineer. Senior Ortega informs them that they are willing to offer double the price if they're able to capture a live Graboid.
You capture one, you get 100K.
ADR his feelings.
Never gonna come down here.
Hold that thought, because you haven't met Kate Riley, the geologist for the oil company and Lady Alan Grant cosplayer. What can I say? Geologists love to cosplay. She's played by Helen Shaver, who's had a long career both in front and behind the camera, appearing in the Amityville Horror, The Craft, as Littlefoot's mom in The Land Before Time, as well as directing episodes of Lovecraft Country, Law and Order, and Castle. This time she's directing Earl's attention to her, because you can't have a geologist in a Tremors movie without it getting all romantic. I mean, it is the world's sexiest profession. Just try saying cementation without thinking dirty thoughts.
If you say it like that, then yeah, you're definitely gonna
as a freshly
get
shaven
dirty.
Earl makes
What
small
the
talk
fuck?
that leads to a nice and real moment of grief.
6 people got killed. People I knew.
But we won't count them per the rules set for us by James. The A stands for Almighty Janice. All hail Janice.
Yep, the one rule they all follow. If a kill is not shown on camera, it is not on the count. It's that simple.
James is life. Kate hands Earl a map to check out, but he's more interested in places a little further south. And luckily, Kate is interested as well, even if the landscape is a little flatter. Kate, like my mom, is curious where the name Graboid came from.
Friend of ours, Walter Chang. He named him. Then they ate him.
But Grady returns from his Christmas Carol rehearsals with chains that'll help attract the Graboids since they hunt by sound. And Julio, Kate's assistant, installs a seismographic monitor that will help them pinpoint any nearby Graboids. So the next morning, Grady and Earl head to the Graboids' last known whereabouts. Grady screams out the window like an infinite wallflower, and it does the trick as we get our first sighting. They stop the truck and unveil their Wile E. Coyote-style plan, involving a detonator, some dynamite, and a monster truck. Whoa, that's not in the budget. Oh, it's an RC car filmed in slow motion.
That is definitely in the budget. You could get those for like 20 bucks.
Non-MCU Thor-themed toy around until they attract a Graboid. Once the car's been sent to Valhalla, they detonate it with a big old
Valhalla!
And a great callback to the first film. As the Libby's pumpkin pie-filled pantyhose rain down upon them.
Gross.
Damn, I love the time.
Wait, hold on. Did y'all see that? Hold on. What's like over here?
Back to the first
film.
As the Libby's pumpkin pie-filled pantyhose rain down
there
upon them.
There it is. It comes completely from the other direction. Like, this is where everything came from, and then there's just a random piece like throw that over. Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet most people never even saw it in Elfos view.
Damn, I love the timing of that last little piece hitting. This one, however, comes from the wrong direction. Someone
See?
fire that PA! Well, we add our first Mexican graboid to Bert's hunting log.
And there it is.
Time to celebrate with an epic graboid hunting montage. Set to
We
Travis
have the
Tritt's
technology.
T-R-O-U-B and it's trouble. Okay, Travis Tritt's trouble. Jesus Christ. What the
Ah,
fuck? I count 9
you
massive explosions
dumbass.
that range from dry to super goopy, and we later
Ugh.
learn that they've made 300,000 for these kills.
Peace.
Oh, so assuming the 300K was for Grady, that's 600,000 total. And at 50 G's a graboid, that makes
Nice.
12 minus the one from earlier, so let's put 11 more on the log.
Oh,
Day
yeah.
turns to night, and the graboids might be the least of their
Montages,
worries,
yeah.
considering the enormous moon that must be hurtling towards the Earth
That's
at this
definitely
point.
like a Bruce
Nevertheless,
Almighty
they catch
moon.
some Z's while a coyote tries to warn them of the impending moonfall.
Man, he better keep quiet.
The next morning, Grady
Yeah, that
reveals
good
what
enough
he's
for you?
gonna do
Better
with his
keep quiet
graboid
and then
green
just-
bills.
Theme park.
Great idea. And here comes your first
Oh, there
investor
goes your
as a
umbrella.
graboid makes an impressive entrance. Achieved by building a 20-foot railroad track and ramming the graboid through some fake ground that isn't styrofoam this time. The graboid
Not
snags
bad.
the Marley chain and helps the boys join the rat race
Oh,
with a super
no.
fun non-Jay Ferguson song.
I don't think a gun is gonna walk.
I don't know why, but I love the music in this movie.
Get some
As they're
bolt
dragged all
pedals or
across the
something.
valley, Earl loses his hat, silently calling
Oh,
back to a
damn
moment
it.
from the first film, while Grady
Damn
loudly
it.
calls out another moment. But this graboid ain't got no
What?
goddamn plan! So instead, he turns them around and strands them up on this residual boulder. The graboid
Ow.
swarm!
Oh.
And Earl and Grady escape by
Yeah.
driving like a blind Rhonda. Ooh boy, they're gonna need some help deworming this place. So we cut to a very familiar
yeah.
wall and an even more familiar TV dad. Bert looking like me when they release a new season of Fortnite. He gets a call from
Yeah.
Earl and we learn that his wife Heather has left him for SNL's Andy Samberg.
You know, she actually blames our problems on the collapse of the Soviet Union. What kind of things does that say to a man?
They continue their pre-zoom catch-up as we get a great
There's also meant to be like a line into he says, she said to Centaur the, I honestly don't remember, some gun. Ugh, I'm not a gun nut, as you can tell.
reveal gag showing that Bert has mounted that bastard on his goddamn rec room wall. We then end the
Damn.
scene on some class A Bert acting.
That is awesome.
Kind of situation.
A graboid kind of situation.
Graboid?
Back at the refinery, Kate stares at Charlie Brown's Halloween candy until she realizes it's actually a fossil fragment of a graboid spike. And this rock is Precambrian, making graboids the oldest life forms on the planet. Earl isn't too happy
Even older
about the
than the
newly
croc.
discovered grab origin.
And Gator.
Always thought they're from outer space.
No, it's sandworms that are from Saturn. You hate them, right? I hate them myself. But no time for science stuff. We've got ourselves a situation. A giant graboid situation. False alarm, it's
Just
just
like
Bert,
Butt.
the franchise stalewart gummer. Bert meets everyone and gives another knowing wink to the audience when it comes to Kevin Facon here.
He the new guy?
What's wrong with being the new guy? New guy or not,
Fake ad.
Bert's brought enough high explosive to kill any level of wascally worm. So they
Alright.
all head out to kill some more graboids
3,
and learn
2,
about Bert's favorite
1,
food.
click.
Tired of the same old soggy food?
Have an MRE.
What?
MRE?
Ready to eat. Freeze dried, foil sealed. Gotta be foil. Plastic is not an oxygen barrier. Includes entree, cracker pack, cheese spread, beverage powder, spoon, coffee, cream substitute.
That's
candy,
actually-
salt, matches, toilet tissue. Shelf life of 10 years. Buy
Okay,
one
let's
time.
agree.
Save
That
6
actually
to 6
sounds
months.
pretty good.
Available now
Look,
at our
I'd
Dead
eat some of
MR
that.
Eat store.
Side effects of MREs include toilet paper jokes, perpetual bachelorhood, and shrieker multiplication. Bert
Oh,
uses a more
no.
cost-effective tank
Why
to
would
do a
you
little
bring up the
graboid
street
fishing.
claws?
He lands
Not
an off-screen
yet.
catch and... Another graboid is obliterated, but this kaboom might have been a little too much.
4 pounds of C4 may be a little
4 pounds of
Excessive.
C4?
We'll add what's left of
Shit.
it to the log. Grady and Earl are wiping a graboid off their car and onto our
Jeez,
log.
man.
And they notice a nearby one moving away from them. Looks like graboids can make their own plans. And this one's throwing itself in the front of the truck like it wants a Saints Row insurance payout. This causes Earl to reverse and crash over a hill. He freaks out while Grady
Dumb.
makes a plan without the previously required planning scene made famous in the first film. Ugh, what a noob! Grady plays bump bump with the
Ugh.
graboid, but it doesn't seem interested. Okay, how about a game of tag?
Ah.
Nope. Looks like the graboid ain't feeling so good. Grady, however, feels great.
you see the way he
because
was
they just
moving
caught a
like
live
that?
one worth 100 grand. And I don't mean the delicious candy bar. They radio Pedro to bring a tow truck, but he
That
just
is
got his
something.
learner's permit, so he's gonna take his sweet ass time. Night falls and Bert radios that he got 3 more graboids to add to the log. Oh yeah? Well,
Damn.
they got a live one. But based on the
Got
noise
one
it's
live.
making, it might not be alive for long. We see an incredibly realistic quarter-scale graboid puppet writhing around like it took a shot of Malort.
That's
when
actually a
Grady and Earl
pretty awesome
investigate,
puppet.
They find a franchise-changing surprise. The graboid's busted
And
open
there
like
it
a
is.
dime store pinata, reminding Earl of broken cocoons when caterpillars change into butterflies, or mogwais turn into gremlins. The folks at Amalgamated Dynamics hand-painted,
mogwais.
hand-moved, and hand-slimed this grotesque work of art. And it's one of the few times a full-size graboid has been built, showing these creatures truly massive scale. After radioing
It
back to the
is
refinery but only
massive.
getting static, they spot slow-ass motherfucking Pedro in his truck. Damn it, Pedro, you haven't been the same since
Pedro!
spending so much time with your slow-ass motherfucking friend Hefe. They make the hike across the valley and
slow-ass
discover Pedro's
motherfucking
truck
Jeff.
torn to
Damn,
shit.
now that's a
Luckily, Pedro
reference.
is there to do his best Sam Jackson from Jurassic Park impression.
Pedro?
Yep, slow-ass
Pedro,
motherfucking Pedro
gone.
is now
The second
no-ass
human
motherfucking
kill,
Pedro,
finally.
as he was eaten by whatever creatures came out of our graboid. Grady and Earl head out to the radio tower to find it looking like the last Radio Shack in America, and once again cut
shit.
off, they try and hotwire a station wagon, but are interrupted by sounds from a nearby building. Yes, it's the next evolution
And here
in
we go.
wormy terror. Meet
The
Shrieker.
Shrieker.
A mix of CGI and practical effects were used to bring this bipedal back.
You can take a guess why it's called the Shrieker. In fact, you're literally about to see.
Bastard to life. Once again designed by Tom Woodruff Jr. and Alec Gillis of Amalgamated Dynamics, who took
Definitely
a price
some
cut
great
to work on
designs
this
from
film.
these
They
guys.
designed the creatures in their off hours while working on Jumanji, and these prehistoric chickens were handmade and hand-operated using a series of levers that almost everyone
Really
on set
awesome.
helped operate. Oh,
Look at
I love
this.
that they're a family. There was also a puppet version that could be worn for close-ups, and puppeteer Yancy Caldaza described it as walking on your hands and knees with a 6-year-old kid on your neck.
Oh, quit complaining. That's exactly what I go through when I babysit my nephew.
The CGI was handled by Tippett Studio,
Oh, that
an
was
effects house
actually cool.
specializing in stop-motion animation for such films as RoboCop and Howard the Duck. The studio was created by
Howard
Phil
the
Tippett, who
Duck?
worked as a dinosaur supervisor on Jurassic Park.
And I'm surprised they hired him after that whole Isla Nublar debacle. Those things are completely unsupervised. You had one job, Phil. One job.
Luckily, he did
One
his job here,
God
and while the CGI
blessed
might
job.
not hold up as well as Jurassic Park, they look a whole lot better than the CGI in the next movie. Trust me. The Shrieker spots Grady and Earl and
I
lives
actually
up
like
to its
these
name.
Shriekers. They're kind of cool.
They take it out, and we take it to the log.
And finally,
Notice it
we
doesn't
have the
any
first
eyes, just like the big
Shrieker kill.
ones. But before they can investigate further, a bunch more are heard approaching. They skedaddle out of there past 2 real Shriekers and one that's possibly a cyborg from the future. The next day, Kate can't seem to get anyone on the radio,
Cyborg
and Julio
Shrieker.
can't seem
That's
to
cool.
greet her like a normal human being.
Julio, man, you scared me half to death.
That's okay, Julio. You have plenty of time to learn how to human.
Nope, no he doesn't.
Never mind,
Because
as
this
Julio
is his
attacked
death.
and his leg is violently eaten, showing us that these little bastards are dangerous as fuck. Julio's dragged away and then ingested.
And now we have the
down by
third
the
human
schoolyard.
kill. An
Earl and
hour
Grady return, shooting
in.
one of the Shriekers off screen, before finding Kate, who has a nice little healing
Jeez.
moment as she processes Julio's death and learns of Pedro's disarming end. But we can't mourn too long. We've got another practical effect to see, as one of the Shriekers has
I should
torn
be
up their
laughing.
only means of escape. Earl adds an inquisitive
This
Shrieker to the
arming.
log, while Grady laments their situation.
They wrecked our car. Pedro's truck, the radio tower. How can they be so smart?
They head back inside just
They're
in
not
time for
smart,
math
they're going
class.
off instinct.
So, if there were 8 graboids left, and each one had 3 sacks, how many Shriekers would that make?
24.
24 of
Right.
those things left.
24.
Stop
Shit.
cheating! Having killed 3 already, that leaves 21 Shriekers left to deal with. Quite an undertaking, but luckily Bert has arrived, looking a little worse for wear.
I feel I was denied critical, need to know information.
Ooh, better get used to that, Bertie, because it's gonna happen a lot
Love
more
it.
in this franchise. Anyway, during the night he was ambushed by Shriekers, and he ran over most of them and killed the rest with small arms fire and hand-to-hand techniques, because he's a fucking badass.
I am completely out of ammo.
Click.
It's never happened to me before.
While Bert takes a moment,
that
we'll add
is-
19
oh, wow.
more Shriekers to the log.
Damn.
Because it turns out Bert was able to capture one of the little SOBs alive. They park the truck and do some Oscar-caliber acting with a rubber prop. But under the truck, another Shrieker has gone all Cape Fear and
What
stowed
the-
away. Not finding any rakes
How?
to comedically step on, they grab a snack with their puppet tongue. And speaking
Oh,
of puppets,
no.
it's time for the Muppet Show with your host, Brewit the Frog! Yay! Our Statler here doesn't seem amused
This guy's
by the
actually
show,
really
so we
funny.
bring out
I
their
hope
special
he can
guest,
do
Michael
more
Gross's
videos.
band. Yay! The Shrieker goes wild, but it's not because it's a Family Ties fan. This sucker's taking a page from the Predator handbook and using infrared to detect its prey by heat. That explains why they tore up the cars and the radio tower,
see?
since they emit all kinds of heat.
What did I
They've
say?
been acting so smart because they're so stupid?
Well, at least they're not as stupid as these outfits you use for the infrared effect. Look like a bunch of goddamn Lego minifigs. Anyway, they feed the Shriekers some of Bert's MREs.
Available
Lego
now.
minions.
And it probably gets sicker than myself playing drunk Mario Kart with a bottle of SoCo. But this isn't drunk sickness, it's morning sickness. As
Ew.
it gives birth to a slimy little shriekling. Looks like our
Ew.
Statler finally has his Waldorf. This effect was achieved by using a full-size shrieker for the baby, but putting it inside an oversized cage, and having multiple puppeteers recreate the miracle of mouth birth. But how is this
This is
reproduction
terrible.
possible?
Hermaphrodites.
Which means these animals have both
What?
male and female traits. And once they've had enough food, they can reproduce asexually at an exponential rate.
You know what? The narrator said it properly. This science woman is a dumbass.
That gives him quite an edge.
And gives me the impossible job of counting these little screamy memes when they die.
And I thought this hunting log would be a fun idea.
A
It's
shrieker
gonna
barges
get
in and Earl
actually
hits
a
it with
lot
rock hammer, which
worse.
is basically a pickaxe, proving Nestor's plan from the first film was sound. Hooray! The Shriekers have gotten into Bert's MREs, and
Oh,
while they have a
no.
food orgy, everyone else escapes to a nearby warehouse that didn't get all its
It's not
permits yet.
done.
Luckily, the Shriekers' heat sensors can't find them, so looks like it's time for a famed Tremors planning scene. First, Bert, oh shit, they're just going for it without a planning scene. Well,
They
fuck
are
me.
just
Earl and the
running.
rest cleverly use doors to hide their body heat and make their way to Julio's truck. Unfortunately, one of the Shriekers had the same idea, and Bert only has one bullet
Oh,
left
no.
for his Lar Grizzly Big Bore single shot 50 caliber Browning machine gun rifle.
I don't think you should use that.
Bitches!
He takes aim at the Shrieker as it
Oh, dear.
considers quitting human killing and going to law school. Oh shit! That explosion is
Shit.
incredible. Done with a practical dummy puppet suspended from a crane. And a hand knocking out that glass window there. Also, that's a real 8-inch bullet actor Michael Gross is firing, leading us to add a very sloppy
And look at
Shrieker
the
to
hole.
law.
You smoked his ass.
The entire
What I
arms
can
was
with what
a
I
hole.
got.
Unfortunately, what you got is a very cool tracking
Ooh.
shot that illustrates the
Ooh.
power of your gun. Bert's shot
Ah,
took out the fuel
that-
line on Julio's truck, but don't blame him.
But-
We're supposed to be up against graboids. I wanted maximum penetration.
Oh, if that's all you wanted. I think they sell those pills behind the counter at the liquor store. They head to the cantina for shelter, but get separated when they're spotted by the local Shrieker choir. Grady heads up a nearby tower, Bert hops into a bulldozer, while Earl and Kate make it to the cantina and arm themselves with Broomit and his wife, Miss Moppy.
This is pathetic.
Hey, I'm trying here. Why don't you just stick to your formula and leave the jokes to me?
I like your joke. It was good.
More like it. Earl runs some hot water on a jumpsuit while Kate goes all Roadhouse on one of the Shriekers. The CGI creatures reassure
Ow.
each other that they'll never look dated, while Earl puts the steaming hot jumpsuit on a clothesline and sends it out as a distraction. The plan works, allowing Kate and Earl to make it to the nearby oil tower with Grady. Tempers begin to flare as their current situation seems dire.
We're stuck on a goddamn roof with a bunch of watches trying to eat us. I mean, I've
Watches?
done this before, and I did not like it.
Why don't you just ask that van back there for help? Whoops, looks like we gotta fire another PA.
Oh,
He convinces
damn it.
everyone that someone will eventually come looking for them. So now we play the waiting game.
Wait for how long though?
Oh, the waiting game sucks. Let's
Yeah.
play Screaming Screaming Shriekers.
Yeah, we
Grady
get
wins
it.
at the
Shut
cost
up.
of the Shrieker's self-esteem. Earl and Kate push the romantic
Bastard.
subplot forward by sharing cute banter and backstory. We learned that
Ugh.
Kate used to be a model.
I was even a playmate once.
Wait, Earl, did you hear that?
October 74?
Yep, she's the one you've had
Holy
on your wall all
shit!
those years, reminding
Hey!
you not to chase after things you're never gonna get. And technically, you'll never get that particular bunny since she's actually Debbie Ellison, Miss September
Oh.
1970. They changed it because the real Miss 74 didn't look like Helen Shaver. The Shriekers start to Cirque du Soleil their way up the oil tower
Oh,
while Bert
well,
wakes up from a little
crap.
bulldoze. He hops into action and leaves the Shriekers copy
Little
and paste and
bulldoze.
walks
I
them
get
into
that.
a warehouse, shuttering the gate so they can't escape. Problem solved. Anything to add, Grady?
How'd you kill me so stupid?
Hello again, Pot. This is the kettle, and that kettle
wait a
is
minute.
going off. Looks like they
It's
found
like a
some food to eat
maternity
in that
ward.
warehouse. So I think we're gonna need another plan.
You're gonna squirt me with this.
CO2 it'll make you cold.
Right, they won't see me.
Earl's gonna get inside and blow up these Shriekers with a bomb. So he gets sprayed down with a fire extinguisher.
This.
Man, this stuff is cold.
And I can't tell you how many times my brother Alex and I said that quote while we were living in Chicago. Mwah! Love you, bro. Why did I
Nice.
kiss my fingers?
The Shriekers can't see Earl thanks to his
Oh,
Mr. Freeze
good.
impression, so he can just chill out while making
better
it
hold it,
past
though.
the crap ton of CGI and
'Cause that's
practical
gonna
puppets.
stop melting
After a while,
fast.
he begins to melt like a snow cone in Phoenix, which gets him spotted by a Shrieker, causing these pint-sized Precambrians to pounce.
Oh,
he tosses
crap.
a bomb into the truck, and the others lower a fire hose
Into
to
the
his rescue.
truck?
Earl does a Tarzan swing, but gets a
Hold on. Into Bot's truck. Well, y'all better start
on the
running.
dismount while the Shriekers push away boxes to reveal they're actually robots. Earl climbs to freedom and tells everyone that he set a bomb while he was in there.
You what?
Yep, right on top of
In
2.5
my
tons
truck?
of high explosives. We should be safe behind this warehouse, though.
Vince, that ain't gonna walk. Run!
It's gonna be big.
They keep running till they find a ditch of
Go,
convenience
go,
and
go,
take cover.
get!
Because like Bert said,
It's gonna be big! Is it gonna be today?
the answer
Is
is
it
a
gonna be
resounding
today? Oh shit!
Still to this day, one of my all-time favorite movie explosions. This
Love
scene was filmed
it.
with an incredibly detailed miniature, shot at a high frame rate to give it the proper and epic weight this explosion deserves. Grady is tossed into the trench like a sack of potatoes
Nice.
to match his IQ. And there's a moment of
just-
silence before the PAs toss out the remaining Shrieker props before the rap party.
Wait, no rap party? Damn you, budget!
Ah!
The crater formerly known as the refinery, Earl and Kate make plans for the future, and Grady
Okay.
points out how many graboids should be in our log.
We are
They owe
done.
us for 28 worms, man.
Oh, I love it when movies do my work for me. Oh, and what about all the little ones that died in the explosion? Well, based on the largest wide shot I saw in the warehouse, I counted 19 Shriekers before Earl dropped the bomb.
Jeez.
So let's add them to the log. The refinery aftermath is shown in a beautiful
That
map
is
painting done by
70
master
of these
painter Rocco
creases.
Giaffri that writer-director Steve Wilson got to keep after production. And so
Nice.
we end this movie with Grady asking Earl to be his partner in his theme park monster world.
No way.
Come on, Earl. This could be like your big third chance.
How many big second
Big
chances
solid
did the graboids
chance?
give our
Jeez.
human cast to survive? Let's find out and get to the numbers. But first, Papa needs a quick 50 G's.
There it is!
Goddamn PAs!
Add. And now we're back for the numbers. Let's go!
Only 3 people died in Tremors 2, all of them
Yeah,
men, giving
that
us
is
a chart
actually
bluer than
surprising.
the Mexican Valencia sky.
Only
With a runtime
3
of 100
humans.
minutes, that gave us a kill on average every 33 1/3 minutes, which coincidentally is the Naked Gun film Fred Ward starred in. Who knew? The humans stepped
And now
up
the
their
graboids.
game this time with a whopping 28 graboid kills and at least 42 Shriekers to add to the hunting
That is
log,
a lot.
giving us a pre-Cambrian lifeform kill every 1.43 minutes.
I'll give the golden chainsaw
Jeez.
for coolest kill to Julio. That leg chewing was gnarly as hell.
Even
and it's
though I
the
gotta
only time
agree
we
with
actually
that.
see
That
these
was
Shriekers
bad.
doing damage. Plus, it emotionally scarred Kate, and that's always a plus. Bill Machete for lamest kill will go to Pedro, because I don't like the trend of ripping things off from Jurassic Park. I'm looking at you, Tremors 5. Bert's hunting trophy goes to the Shrieker blown up by Bert's Lar Grizzly Big Bore single shot 50 caliber. Oh, fuck the name of this gun! Still love that kill though.
Just
And
call
that's
it
it. Tremors
the
2
Mammoth.
Aftershocks came out in 1996 and did well enough on home video to warrant another sequel. Tremors 3 Back to Perfection,
All
which I'll be
right.
looking at in 2 weeks. Until then, I'm a half Serbian man from Chicago. This has been the Kill Count.
For the next kill.
And that is where we're going to end off today's video. I want y'all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I'll see all of you folks in the next reaction. And so until then, I've been Fox, and this is me signing out. Have a good one.